So here we have a URL that is mapped to /API/movies, and based on the RESTful API, web service that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, we know that this is a valid URL, right? That presumably, since it's a get, and the verb is movie and it's plural, right? Typically, this would return indeed all the collection of movies that are being exposed at this endpoint, right? Presumably, by hitting some database, retrieving this the list of movies. Yes. The other one that we might want to add here is to retrieve movies, but based on some ID. If we know perhaps the IMDb of that particular movie. So this would be movies / and maybe we'd like to put a placeholder here, like a path variable that we can then retrieve and then find that particular movie from some collection, right? So this would be colon and then IMDb ID, and then we can retrieve that IMDb ID and look for it in our array of movies, right? So to parse this from the URL, so this is a placeholder. Notice the colon, right? So this is not a literal string, right? It's a placeholder. We can retrieve that placeholder, IMDb ID. We can retrieve it from the request. Remember, the request is an object that gets parsed by the server that represents the incoming request. Everything, the URL, any query strings, any path variables, right? Any cookies, anything that comes in is coming from the client. So to retrieve the path here, we can use a map that is populated with all the name value pairs in the URL, in the path, right? And that's available in the params map, right? All parsed, it creates this map, and we can retrieve it by the name IMDb ID, right? We can console log the IMDb, so just to make sure that it has something there, and then we can what we could do is that we can filter the array and try to find the movie that matches that IMDb. We can say movies dot I think it's find. Find is it's going to iterate over the array, and it's going to pass you each instance in the array, and whenever you return whenever you return true, if the predicate here returns true, it says, that is the object that matches. That's the object that I'm going to give you in the find, all right? I'm going to do a movie. If the movie's IMDb ID matches, right, as a data type and as value, right? If it matches the incoming query that I'm passing in here, if it matches, that's what I want to send back. Right? See if this works. Let's restart. So now if I pass in some other IMDb, right, 1, 2, 3, notice that it breaks. Wait, what? Oh no. Paste it? No. Did we get an error? All right, we did the console. All right, so the console's working. So it is printing it out. So maybe it's not filter. I'm sorry? Yeah? IMDb ID. IMDb. Oh, did I spell it wrong? Oh, yes. I hate computers. They're always right. Okay, let's try it again. Thank you. Let's try it again. All right, there we go. So we have 1, 2, 3. We had 2, 3, 4. Right, 3, 4, 5. So it retrieves one independently. Excellent. Obviously, this is retrieving from a static console. What we'd like to be able to do instead is perhaps retrieve it from a database. Right. So let's work on doing that instead.